Go video. What's going on? Just in time flipping. Welcome back to the channel. First time here. Hello. Second time here. How do you do? So anyway, we're talking Brimfeild. Here we go. Brimfeild 2023. So I set up at Brimfeild in September. Did well. It was like my first trade show, as you could, like, if you want to call it a trade show. So it was my first trade show. It's like a, it's like a higher end flea market, basically. It's kind of how I handled it. Keep in mind, I have no experience selling at a trade show. I just, like I said, I handled it the same way I would a flea market situation. And I still designed it the same way. We set up the tables at the flea and rows and like item areas and stuff like that. Basic stuff. So we set up. It was a long week, man. Super long week. Worth it, but long week. I would leave at 4:30 in the morning. And I would sell till 5 o'clock at night. And then I would do like an hour of cleanup and an hour-ish of organization and protection. My area, I had like a small carport canopy. It wasn't like anything oversized like everyone else has, but we did have a dry area, which was like a trailer to throw some drier items that we didn't want to get damaged, or some higher end things, stuff like that. There was a little bit of like moisture through the night. It wasn't like selling in the summer where there's just zero moisture. So there's a little moisture, you had to deal with that. And all in all, it went well. Nothing really got too damaged. I think we had a light that started to get a little damaged the first night from the moisture. So we kind of learned a little bit through the way of what we could leave out and what we couldn't. Still moved the lamp, probably $10 less than what we wanted for it. So that was good. And everything's a learning curve as you do this too, So the setup was the actual learning curve to set up again. I'm 80% confident that I have this spot claimed, so this is now my spot, which is good, and I'm overly excited about it. To be honest with you, I'm very excited about it. The second I got back from Brim, I reorganized the loads that I brought back that didn't sell. So I reorganized that. And then I started avidly making a new pile in making it organized. Because when I did go, it was a 1 week let's go, like a random let's go set up at Brimfeild, because I got the spot offered to me from a friend. So, it was like a last minute thing. The guy that had the original spot got sick and he couldn't go, and they didn't want the space empty, So a friend of mine said to the owner of the land that, I do all right, and that I would do, I do all right, and I would do a good presentation for them. So they took me on board, and I made a lot of contacts within that system, which was good, and made some new friends, which was good. That's good. And I don't know, just the sales were great. I had a lot of fun selling. I hurt my foot like the second day, so I had to walk around with a cane all weekend. by the last day, I needed a freaking wheelchair to carry myself out of there because of the work involved. It's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of work. I did it all alone, you know. I brought, what did I bring? I forget, it was like 6 or 8 van loads. I think it was 8, and it was three van loads of building material and bigger items, you know, furniture things and bikes and stuff like that, and then 4 or 5 loads of just inventory. And when I wrapped up everything, I think it was 2 loads of just inventory and 2 loads of building material when I left. So, you know, I sold 4 loads out of the 8, so that's pretty good. I don't know what it equated to, you know. Within profit, I have no clue. No clue at all. No clue what kind of profit was made. Was there profit made? Yeah, for sure. I sold probably, I don't know, let's just say I got rid of, because I don't want to use too many numbers with you on this video. But we can say I sold 5 items that I was head over heels, you know, ass over tea kettle on, and, you know, just bad buys. And I managed to get rid of them within like a $50 loss. So I was perfectly fine with that, to, you know, get rid of some of those items on a very, very, very short loss. You know, 5, what's that, 10, I lost $10 on each item, no big deal. Then lesson learned, and, you know, buy better. And that's the trick to every time, is just to buy better, learn, buy better, learn, make contacts, avidly buy better, stack cash, stack items. So basically, that's kind of just like the talk. I'm just kind of like amped up about it. I started making the new pile. We're gonna go back home. I'll show you the new pile. You know, we'll walk through some stuff, and it'll be like a pre-Brimfeild pile, and go from there. It's pretty jammed in there. It's all in boxes, and everything's all jammed in there. But I can kind of point out a couple things and tell you kind of what I'm gonna do and kind of how the operation's gonna go. So I'm kind of just pre-building things. So I made like 30 display cases like a couple days ago. You know, all wood construction display cases. Made 30 of those. I'm gonna fill those up, put them in the room, call it a day. Those are ready to go. Not even gonna bring them to the flea market. It's just gonna be ready to go for this show. And I have other flea market piles. I have two flea market piles right now, and I'll just rotate with that. So this will be just Brimfeild Trade Show. It's gonna be a 3-show operation pile, so it needs to be a big ass freaking pile. The room I'm putting it in is like a 14 by 14 room, and it's about a quarter full now. So by, what's it, May is the next show. So by May the inventory should be like spewing out of the door by that time. So I'm just gonna keep stacking it in there and turn a blind eye. I did put some items in there that I purchased, and they're gonna just sit in there. It is what it is, because of the display I'm gonna use, or just the items or inventory I want to bring. So I want that inventory to be a little plentiful, where it makes good displays, brings eyes, bodies, dollars, It all has a plot. It all has a plotted out way of doing it. So I'm overly thinking, you know, what's this, 5 months in advance for the show. I don't know if other people do it like that. I think they do, but yeah, I'll bring you back home. I'll show you the pile. I'm just kind of trying to give you a little justs of what I'm kind of doing. And the pile So yeah, like I said, the pile consists of items that I bought, but my main goal with the pile is to buy lots as I go through the months. Say I paid $200 for a lot of items. I'm going to take a couple items out of the lot. I'm going to list them on eBay. I'm going to recover my funds. I'm going to take a couple items out of the lot. I'm going to put them in a flea market pile. So that's going to be back burner flea market April. And then the rest goes in the Brimfeild pile, which would be May. And then by the time May hits, the eBay items should have sold to pay for the lots. I hope that makes sense. It's pretty straightforward in how I'm doing that. So, because I'm doing it that way so that mentally that stuff can sit in the room and not overly hurt my wallet, you know? And because you got to play strategically, you can't just buy a bunch of stuff and stick it in a room that makes no money and it doesn't turn anything over. So and then keep in mind the pile I'm bringing is going to be for 3 shows. It's going to be for the May show, the July show, and then the September show. So 3 show pile, you know, and I'll just rinse and repeat, you know, and I have 2 months in between each show to do the same thing, avidly buy things and replenish the room and replenish the stock and move items around and you know, maybe when I bring it there in May, make like a box of items that are just like, all right, these didn't work, these need to go to eBay. It is what it is. So and also the things that I'm really trying to list right now are just things that I like hold zero confidence in bringing them to the show, a flea market, or a yard sale situation. Like, they just won't sell in those avenues, you know? So that's kind of the stuff I'm trying to list on eBay right now, like paper and like, well, not really paper, but electronics, you know, stuff like that. Stuff I don't think anyone really wants, which I am doing a little electronics section too. So anyway, I'll bring you back to the house. We'll be back. All right, here we are into the pile. Keep in mind it's a, you know, it's a 14 by 14 space. Not a big room, you know, not a big room at all. So it's already getting crammed. So here we go. Stop with this thing. So I've been doing hardware. It's all just hardware. I ain't gonna lie, these bins are just about full. I've been slowly working it. So you got hinges, door hinges, and the door knobs. We got this one thing of planers, just planers with planer parts. You know, chain and different fastening things. Random like bells and stuff like that. Yeah, that's hand pinched. Locks and stuff like that. There's a couple guys that buy all this stuff, and then there was a lot of people buying this stuff. Ain't gonna lie. Hinges, hardware hinges, stuff like that. Barn hinges, big ass door hinges, hooks, pulleys. Just been throwing all the hooks and pulleys in there. I got stuff in the storage unit that's separate from that, but so I got 2 empty bins. This is just ornate pots, knobs, latching. I got it kind of organized. This is all just more hinges, like more like door hinges, window hinges, regular hinges. Oh, heavy. And then this one I got bike pots. I don't know if anyone wants any of this, but I'll bring it. So you got bunch of random pedals. Build something. And then all the they call these? I don't know. You would reflectors. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you could use those for your driveway or something. Who knows? Who knows what people are doing? This is the cameras I just got. I'll show you that. So there's just some other random things I've been pulling that don't really mesh with anything. It's just like floating around or whatever. It's a little tool case of tools. Just random tools. I'll fill it up a little bit more. These are all cases I've been filling. Here's all the ammo I found for 44 mag. It's all full 44 mag. So I don't know. I'll sell that. I'm thinking 120 on that. That's kind of decent. So nice thing, chest set, stuff like that. There's a little air gauge display I made. It's actually the one that I like the best, actually. But little air gauge display. Cleaned all those up. It's expensive tool. You know, made a little case for it. I'll fill that up with some more gauges and gags. Gauge gags. A car case. Bottle openers. Stuff like that. So it's all kind of presented well. We get some hubcaps. Records, Laserdisc. I got those records that I was showing you on Instagram, or the Lobster records if he wants them. There's a whole box of Mad Magazine here. Tubes. Is, I don't know, I think it was 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 milk crates. Wood planers. There's a wood planer box. All wood planers. So as I get the wood planers, I'll put more wood planers in there. Here's a wood planer part. No, that's a. There. Brass and lamps. That's all in there. That's already full. Random box. I got a sword. I got a toy box. This is all leather. I'm gonna just make a leather box. Just anything that's leather that I kind of want to just do whatever with. Like, it's not important. It's going to go in there. But, yeah, so some items that I said I paid for. So, yeah, these crates, you know, these I paid 15 crate. It's kind of expensive, but 15 a crate. But makes a nice display. Can still fill them up. So I'm going to fill them up with, you know, glass and bottles, and mainly want to find more bottles along the way and jam them in there. I get these Broly carts I'm going to bring. There's something in here that's separated. I don't know what it is. Here's the IBM typewriter. Good, very good condition. Bunch of musical instruments, a tube tester, 70s amplifier, a couple other instruments, and then everything back here is all, like, probably from here down is all like electronics and 70s, 80s tape players and all old stuff. Here's a radio I bought at the auction the other day for $35. Here's a couple more receivers. I got this one the other day for $5. I think I paid like $5 for that one. So, I mean, this stuff's all cheap. There's something in here. There's a baogram. There's a baogram in there. There's the Ford spotlights. There's about 5 of those in there, it says. I cleaned all those too. These are 2 paper lots. Just random paper. This is a box of books. There's two working oscillators. That box down there is probably Playboys, and then all these are all Playboys, VHS, Pictures. I've been putting like bigger pictures in there. There's a Westinghouse, nice Westinghouse radio there. Good working TV for display on the VHS. So, you know, just a random boxes of goodies that are like that. You know, tins and stuff like that. You know, more random clocks. Making a little cast pile. Obviously doing the sprinklers. So I'll be avidly putting more fishing gear, all like items that are like this pretty much. So this is kind of the show, you know. Obviously the random boxes are just the random stuff, but it's mainly going to be a VHS, you know, movie type display thing, vintage electronics, which I didn't really bring a lot of it there last time, but the ones I did bring, I did think I sold. And more people were looking for that kind of stuff, so probably nobody wants to bring that. I'm gonna think nobody in their right tits is gonna bring all that, unless if it's like radios like that. But I don't think anyone's gonna bring receivers and stuff like that. It might be like one guy that's crazy like me to do it. And same thing with the VHS. Like, I don't think anyone had VHS display. I think that's why I sold a lot of it. So obviously there wasn't any of it there. So we're gonna do it better than we did it before. Brass was firing off the charts and lamp parts. So that's kind of more of the things that I brought. Well, gonna try to bring, and I still have more of that in storage, but this is just like the reserved, already paid for, kind of gathering it pile. And then these are the other boxes that I've been working on. So these are gonna be like, oh yeah, I gotta send out your crap there, guy. I forgot that. These are just like trays, drop trays. You can be like, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think I got 3 more outside. And I'll just keep making them as I go with the scrap wood. It's pretty cheap. I used the nail gun to nail it all together. Cheap. You know, I made this one out of like an old dresser. And then these ones I bought some parts, and then I mean, obviously none of these pieces match, so I just scrapped it together, you know, so less on the cost. But that makes it nice for organizing, like something on a table for like items inside a bin, and then same thing for stacking. Like, look at that. That's nice when I take that. So I'm gonna make another. I mean, we'll get that all the way up there and maybe make another whole row. Like that's going to be ideal, because I brought green bins that are like that and they did well. And when I mean did well, it's just like random crap like this, just random stuff in bins, and you just kind of sell it out, like, you know, 510, 510, 2, 5, 3, whatever. Make an offer, make a pile, whatever, you know. I'm pretty fair. I was fair along the whole way. So anyone that sees this video and wants to come and check out my area, you know, we are in the first area. Once you enter Brim on the left, it's a dead end alley. Once you go down, that's it. You'll see us. So we'll be set up down there. I'll do some more videos along the way to promote that. And yeah, that's kind of the pile. Kind of what we're doing, you know. So yeah, hoarding things. I don't know. That's how I do it. Other people don't do it this way, for sure. Like, you could keep trying to turn this over all the way until May, but I think rounding the things up mentally. Yeah, I wanted to get my hand on the video. Rounding things up mentally was more of the challenge, you know, like well, how am I going to do it? What's it going to look like? What am I going to bring, you know? So what I did before was just like grabbed whatever and everything and just kind of threw it on the ground. And it was just kind of like, here you go. So I kind of want to do it a little better. All right. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's an idea. You know, come down and I'll do another video to kind of show you how the pile grew. So last show was in September, and it's just about November. So this is only, you know, two months in. So it's doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. And this is all new inventory. So it's kind of cool, you know? And none of it will be overly looked up, you know? And I looked some of it up. I have an idea of what it's worth. And I'll have to just retain that information for, 4 months. And then, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm very fast, so it's not slam on the price too hard, you know? You just kind of want to move it and have a good show and everyone's happy. That's a good show. All right, so thanks for coming by. Peace.